Good morning, everybody. Deb here with Art and Grace. I am so happy to be a part of the 1 year celebration of the Craft Around the Clock group. Happy birthday, Craft Around the Clock. Tracy, you've done an absolutely amazing job. I am new to the group, but I've been a fan of yours and of most of the ladies that are in the group. Um, we all get inspiration from each other, and I've been watching some of these ladies for a long time, and so I'm so happy to finally be a part of it myself. So, guys, if you are new to me, my name is Deb. I own Art and Grace. I love to help women relax with art. I like to give them a safe space to come and paint and craft and just be together. So that's kind of what I'm about. I started crafting with my grandmother back when I was a child and have just never stopped. So welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're all here. Good morning, Tracy. Girl, I don't know how you do it. You're amazing. I think you're superhuman. I don't know. I see you every hour. Every time I pop in looking at something, you're there. I don't know how you do it. So good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for popping on, and I would love to get more people watching so that we can spread the love and get more people in on the group. It is such an amazing group. I'm going to kind of get started. I'll probably miss a lot of comments today, but I will go back and read every single one. So good morning, Christina. I'm so glad you're here. Hope you're feeling okay. Hi, Jean. Good morning. I'm so glad you got some resin. I'm going to show you guys some resin art today. So look at these cute little, it just takes any painting that you do up a notch because it really does make it like glass. So see, it's hard for me to get the angle right. There we go. See, sometimes when I hit the light right, you can really tell that the resin just really brings it up a notch. There we go. I am not good with the backwards camera, guys. But anyway, I'm going to be ambitious and I'm going to do a little tulip painting for you guys. I think it's perfect for spring. I think we're all ready for spring. And let me know if you guys have spring weather because I'm in Texas and we actually do. It's been really, really nice here. So I can't complain about the weather like some people are. Hi, Ann. Good morning. Thank you so much. Oh, sure. Yes. Art resin is what I use. So, yes, you can say it. Good morning, Dana. Glad you're here. Oh, I know, Charlotte. It's so true they will because those are my fondest memories. So, y'all let me know if you crafted with your grandmother or aunt or somebody that kind of passed it down to you. Hi, Angie. Glad you're here. And I know, guys, I know I'm going to miss a lot of comments and it just kills me, but I'm going to go ahead and get started since we are limited on time. But I'm using one of these little boxes. I've already gone ahead and painted it. You can use a wood panel, you can use a canvas. Sometimes I do use a canvas, and if I do, I will put some cardboard and just fit it to the exact size, pretty snug, and that will keep it from bowing down. That's my tip for the day because a lot of people don't know that. But yes, put some cardboard back there and it will keep it from bowing. So, and I'll give you a sneak peek, guys, since you're on here early. This is what we're making. So, what I did when I first got this, I got this at Target in the dollar, the bullseye section. And it came in a kit with some fall letters and things, but I just took that out. It was $3, which is a great price for a little wood. It's like a really thin wood box. But it works great when you're new at resin because you don't have to worry about the resin dripping over. So I love using these. Oh, I love that, Jennifer. Love that. I'm sorry, I just am dying to read the comments and say hi to you guys, but I am going to kind of keep going. So please don't be upset with me for not. I love seeing who's here. I really do. And I go back every time to see who was here and who I missed and all that. Thank you for sprinkling. Thank you so much. So anyway, I pulled this out and I did give it a sand because for $3, they're not going to sand it perfect. So I did give it a really good sand all over and got it really smooth. Then I used my Chalky Finish. This is my go-to to get a really good coverage. It's creamy. Now you use whatever chalk paint you love, but this is my go-to. And then all I'm gonna do is, be sure if it has a hanger like this that you make sure you're doing it from the right, where you're gonna hang it, because I've been known to turn it around, and you know how that goes. So I'm going to get out some colors of paint. First thing we're going to do is the background. So let's do this really pretty. Actually, I'm going to pull it out of here. I'm running low of my Bahama blue, which is my favorite spring, summer blue, like for skies. I just use it a lot. You'll see it a lot if you follow me. But I'm going to get some out of this little bottle I've got because I didn't know. I have every color under the sun except Bahama blue I was super low of. And I'm just going to use a flat brush. Let's grab one. Any flat brush will work for your background. And I'm just going to start painting this background because basically this is going to be my sky. So I'm just going to paint this in the blue color. There's my water. Should have got my brush a little wet. I don't like it real wet with wood because it's just going to soak in. And since I've got this Chalky Finish base coat on, my blue is going on wonderful and smooth, as you can see. Oh, I just wish I could. Oh, thanks, Charlotte. I don't have cute PJs. I was really embarrassed. I don't have cute PJs like everybody. The ones that I do have that are cute are winter. And it is warm here, guys, in Texas. So I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I get so hot anyway under the lights that we use. So I found a shirt that I thought resembles cute PJs, you know? And that's what I'm doing. And it kind of was hard for me to not put on jewelry and all that. But I did put on makeup because I'm going to go to church after this. But anyway, I wanted to kind of participate with the slumber party, even though I'm the last one, y'all. I am the last one. If you have not been in the group in order to watch all the other crafters, I beg of you to go get in there. Craft Round the Clock. Again, we are celebrating their 1-year birthday. Tracy Campbell is the mastermind behind it. She created it and has grown it. It's grown like wildfire. I think God's just blessing what she's doing. She's helping so many crafters build their businesses. And it's just a great group of ladies. Well, I'm sure gentlemen as well. But the ones that I seem to follow are the women. And they just are so inspirational. There's so many ideas every single day. Y'all, because I'm talking and I'm in a hurry, I'm painting this blue and I didn't mean to. But that's okay. We're going to go with it. It'll be pretty. It's a gorgeous color. I really meant to leave that white, but there I go, just rambling on. And so I painted. But anyway, I do love this blue, so I don't have a problem with, excuse me, with it being blue. Do y'all like this color? It definitely screams spring, summer, right? And you can add, of course, with any colors, you can add some white if it's too bright for you. If you wanted, you know, a softer blue, just add some white to it. And you guys are welcome to ask me questions. Oh, hi, Christine. Glad you're here. Hi, Joey. Good morning. I hope y'all are having a good morning. If you've been up for a long time, and if not, I hope you do have a wonderful day. You know, every day we have is really wonderful and a blessing. So hopefully you guys have, if anybody has any good news, put it in the comments. I love to ask that question. And when I go back and read, because I read every comment, it's so nice. I mean, the other day, someone left a comment that their granddaughter did not have to have the heart surgery. They thought and I don't know the granddaughter. I didn't really know, you know, it's just so encouraging to read good news, especially when we're in this time of so much heaviness and sadness. So leave your good news below. We would love to read it. And then anybody who comes along behind you will read it and it'll bless them too. So, okay, so I've got a great base coat on. That's good. Let me clean up. I've got my water on the opposite side of where I always have it, so I'm confused. Are y'all drinking coffee this morning? Because I have mine here, and I'm going to... Oh, hi, Deb. I'm going to take a sip, you guys. Oh, look. Hello, spring. Had to use my spring cup this morning. Oh, this is Bahama Blue by Decoart. It's a really pretty color. Love it. I am a Decoart maker, And they also, I have no idea, they chose me to be a Decoart doer. And that just means that they found me actually on Instagram. I was doing my Alzheimer's. I do an annual fundraiser. My mom had Alzheimer's, and she is the entire reason that I am doing what I'm doing. She suffered with Alzheimer's, which means the family suffers with Alzheimer's if you know anything about it. And she, me try to make a long story short, after she passed away, and some time went by, I knew I needed to share what I had learned, which was art and crafts is so healing and so helpful for stress relief. I don't think I could have gotten through that time without, well, I couldn't have gotten through it without God. But also, He gave me the art and crafts as a release. And it took me a while to understand that it was okay to take a little time for myself, because when you're in the caregiving role, you know how it is. You don't have time for yourself. Now I'm going in with some Kelly green and some citron green on my big flat brush, and I'm going to get kind of a base coat down here for this grass. So I'm just kind of base coating with those two colors. Nothing fancy, just getting them both down here. But I learned so much over that time. And after she passed away and some time went by, He just put it on my heart to do this full time and help other women. I just love to provide a space for women to come, hang out, learn new art and crafts, or some of them have been doing it longer than me and they teach me a thing or two. And like Christy, she's on here. I have a group, and so I know some of my group members are on. And anyway, it's been a huge blessing for me, and I love to just teach them that it's okay to take some time for yourself. In fact, it's necessary and helpful. And anyway, so if you're new to me, that's kind of my story and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I'm just getting a base coat around all of this bottom part with that grass. And I am going to clean up because I wasn't being careful. I'm telling you, when I talk and craft like this, it's easy to make mistakes. But my whole thing in, that's so funny, it popped up and said, I am one of Art and Grace's most devoted viewers. Well, I guess I am, since I'm me. That's so weird. I've never seen a pop-up like that from Facebook before. Have y'all? Congratulations. You're the owner of the company and you are the most devoted fan. Yes, I think I am. That's so funny. Oh, and I am praying for you. I know, I just think about you all the time. I know how hard it is to caregive. I'm going in with my detail brush, and I've got a little bit of that citron green, and I'm just going to kind of paint some of these little wispies down here at the bottom. And I am going to bring up some taller grass as well, but for now I'm just going back through and add some. I like to show these easy, whimsical paintings. That way you can stretch. Oh, I've got 100 people watching, y'all. That's such a big deal to me. I've never had 100 people. So thank you for getting up and, you know, spending a little bit of time with me this morning, celebrating the Craft Around the Clock group. I appreciate it. And if you are new to me, just welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I think most of the people that Tracy, you know, has as presenters, we're very similar as far as we love to uplift. We love to encourage each other. You know, we are not about competing. We are about collaboration and, you know, sharing. And that's what sold me on the group. I love the ladies of this group. Really amazing people. So I'm just kind of coming back and adding a few taller strands because you know how grass is. And then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to make, you know, like a large stem for my largest tulip. Doesn't have to be straight. You know, it can be a little wonky. That's okay. And let's give like a pretty large little leaf here. And I'm sorry, I probably lost my train of thought if I was saying something, but I kind of stopped to do this and then... Oh, awesome, Janice. That's great. I'm on the border of of South Fort Worth and Burleson. I'm right on the border. When we moved here, they told us we could choose if we wanted to have a Fort Worth or a Burleson address. And I was like, we can choose? So literally, you can put whatever and it'll get here. That's so funny to me. I think I'm going to go a little bigger, and I'm putting a little bit of that citron green on here while I'm at it. I usually use a round brush. I think I'll switch. I've had in my mind, you've got to hurry, you've got to hurry. And so I'm not painting the way I typically would. I'm just really trying to get it on here, but there we go. Okay, that's a little better. I'm just using, when you have the right brushes and the right paint, it will do the work for. Thank you guys for the stars. Oh my goodness. Thank you, all of you. I'll go back because I appreciate that so much. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I'm going to come back over here and do another leaf. Just kind of spread this citron green on here as well. But if you see, it just kind of does the work for me. I love, love, love this. And I am not using a tracer, but I will get you guys a tracer if anybody wants it. Let's see here. Bear with me. Let me go back. It's hard for me to see my, I'm kind of looking at my original design. Thank you guys. Y'all are so awesome. I appreciate that. I saw the ending, and thank you, thank you, thank you. I just really do. I really do appreciate it. I know you guys do not have to do that, and so it means a lot to me. Okay, I'm just going to kind of look at my design for a second to be sure I don't get too far off. But, you know, we typically paint something and then make a tracer, which is what I did for this design. But I'm not using my tracer. I'm just kind of winging it. So I'm trying to get not too far away. Okay, so we've got some stems coming up now. I'm going to go back to my round brush, and we're going to do the little tulips. Do you guys like tulips? I used to just think they were my favorite flower until I met a ranunculus. And I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but that is my blue in top. Oh, yes, I see. Thank you. I will paint that. Yes, that's, like I said, that's what happens. Thank you, Tana. Was that Tana that said that? Yes, you're awesome. Thank you. It's so funny. When I get, I'll tell you, I'm a little nervous. When I get nervous and I'm trying to chat and paint, that's what happens. It's just, we have a, you know, a certain amount of time we don't want to go over. And so we're like on that kind of high alert, hurry, hurry, hurry. But yet our hearts are like, no, but read the comments. So, you know, it's hard to stay on task, guys. Because I really do want to finish this whole project for you guys, because if you've ever thought about doing glass art, it's so fun, and it is so, really, you can get lost in it. So you'll take like a Saturday and just do it for hours, because it is so fun. So I have learned everything that I know from Cindy Manley of Art Shattered. So if you don't follow her, you would love her if you like art, glass art. Okay, so I think we've got all of that down. She's in my private group, and she came and taught us the other day one of her designs, and she's just such a down-to-earth, step-by-step artist. I love, love, love following her. Okay, so touching that up. Okay, I think we're ready for our tulips. Thank you, Tana. That was awesome. Hi, Mara. How are you today? Have you been up all night? Because I've seen you a few times. I know a lot of you guys have stayed up all night long for this slumber party. Okay, so to do our tulips, I'm going to put out my wild berry. You'll see that? It's a really, really pretty color. Hi, Debbie. Oh, wait, who was that? Secondhand Treasures. So, hold on, Secondhand Treasures. That is Stephanie. Sometimes my brain won't put the name with the business. Yes, isn't it beautiful? Okay, I'm going to put out some of that berry and some white. I'm going to take that same round brush. I really need to clean it better. Let me try this water over here. Oh, Dana, I love tulips too. And if you will take your brush when it's got paint on it and wipe it on a paper towel really well before you put it in the water, then you won't have as murky as water as what I'm having right now. I'm coming in here and loading up this round brush with my berry color, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of white at the tip, so my brush is going to kind of do the work for me. So I'm just going to come around here and make a U. These are whimsical flowers, guys. They are just meant to be fun and happy. They do not have to be perfect. I'm going to kind of let my brush make the shape and the little points, and then just kind of meet them in the middle. Do you see that? Let's add some white. Now, I'm not going to paint these exactly like I normally would because I need them a little thinner so that we can dry them real quick. I like a lot of paint, but I don't want these to be super thick with paint because we need this dry in order to do the resin. But I'm going to give you guys a general idea. So you'd paint your design however you want to. And I'm just letting the brush do the work. So just the berry and the white. Make each one look a little bit different if you want to. It's a little challenging upside down sometimes, but I think that works okay. Add some little white highlights here and there. You guys doing okay? Oh, Secondhand Treasures is Debbie. Okay, well, thank you. I guess I thought that, and then I second guessed myself. I'm sorry. Y'all, I told you I'm a little nervous. And okay, so that is going to be good. Now, this is not going to show a whole lot, so so if you're nervous about painting, you're not used to painting, it's a perfect project. So we're going to dry this with my heat gun. You can use a hairdryer. Don't get it too hot. You don't want your paint to bubble. Okay, now I can look at some comments. Thank you, Janice. Good morning, Maritza. It's okay to be late. You can watch a replay. Let me get a sip of coffee, guys. Are y'all may have answered me, but are y'all having coffee this morning? Janice, hang around me. You can paint. I promise. I promise. Thank you, Charlotte. You're so sweet. I can teach anybody to paint. I do simple things. Hi, Rhonda. Thank you, Susan, for sprinkling. I appreciate that. Aw, thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. Hi, Susan from New York. How's your weather? Is it cold? Tina, if you were asking what her name was about the glass artist, it's Cindy Manley, and she owns Art Shattered. I do want this good and dry, so give me a second to get this green dry. I did it a little thicker than I should have. Coffee, 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 Marty. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Dr. Pepper. I'm really trying to break my habit of going from coffee to sweet tea. Sweet tea is so bad for me. You know, the sugar. Man, people here in Texas, we love our sweet tea. And it doesn't love me, that's for sure. Okay, I'm going to set my paints aside. We're done painting. So y'all saw that was easy. You can do it. You can do it. And then we are ready to do our glass. Good and pretty dry. So we're going to call it dry. I think it's pretty dry. I'm going to move that out of my way. Make room. I definitely am moving this out of the way because I've definitely been known to stick my hand in it. Okay, now to the fun part, guys. So I'm using this chip glass from Michaels. This is not my most treasured glass. I love using mirrored glass for art projects, but for this one, I wanted these colors. I didn't have the glass that I normally use for, you know, my projects, but these are still beautiful and will give you a great result. So, and they're less expensive. So this is a great thing to start with when you're trying resin. And it's fun, y'all. This is the fun part, to just kind of play. I'm going to lay kind of a little plop of this stuff, of this vase filler on top of my tulips. And now you see why I chose my colors, because it matches. And I'm going to get it on each of these little tulips. Don't worry about, you know, getting it on here perfect yet. We're just going to kind of pile it on. You can make, this is personal preference, whether you want to pile it high or, you know, just have a little bit. You know, it's all personal preference. You're the artist. You get to decide. There are no wrong ways to do this. Well, let me take that back. There are wrong ways to use resin, but as far as laying down your pieces, there's no wrong way. I'm going to do the same thing with the green on these leaves. I'm going to just put some of this green on the leaves. But I'm telling you, y'all, this is fun. And if you, I know a lot of you guys, I've been watching the comments, a lot of you have kids or grandkids, and you can give them regular school glue and let them do the same thing you're doing, or give them bits of paper. Now, let me say this. This is pieces of glass, so you don't really want to give them glass if they're small. But they can definitely put on some little gloves and use it if they are older kids, or you can give them construction paper to use while you're doing yours or whatever. So I want to back up and say that, you know, of course we don't want to give little kids glass pieces, but older kids, like, you know, a lot of times when I crafted with my grandmother, I mean, I crafted with her up until teenage years, and so that's what I'm thinking, you know, of course teenagers would love this, getting out their creativity in this way. And then just a few here maybe. I need to step on it. We got 15 minutes. Can we do it? Okay. Then I will take a little, I've got a little tool that I use for Cricut, you know, these little, and that's just what I use to kind of push these back into the place I want them to stay. And again, you don't have to cover every piece of this. You can just put a few on each part if you want. It's just whatever you want it to look like. And I'm just kind of tapping to kind of get them. I hope y'all can see this okay. Tapping to kind of get them where I want them. Thank y'all for tuning in this morning. I sure appreciate it. It's definitely more fun to have people with you when you're crafting. And if we can't be together in person, this is the next best thing, right? When COVID, I used to do paint parties and would go to businesses or restaurants and hold a paint party. So when COVID shut us down and we couldn't go to restaurants, I started doing everything online and teaching whatever I do online. And that has been the best blessing. So, you know, you always look, whatever bad happens, you always have to look at the good. And that was the good, because I've met amazing people by being online. Okay, we're good. We're ready to do our resin. I'm just going to slide this carefully to the side. Try not to bump it. And I've got little medicine cups. They are marked. And I also have put a black mark. That's a trick that I'm telling you. So with resin, you want them exactly equal. So this is 1/2 ounce. I'm going to do 1/2 ounce in both cups. And again, I use art resin. It is non-toxic. There's very little smell. If you have, you know, severe allergies or something, then I would research and be sure it's okay for you to use. But if you go onto the art resin website, they have a lot of information about it. I did some research on my own, and it was the one that I felt the best about. I've looked and I've bought others, but I decided this one is the safest for me. And so you do your research and you do what you feel, but I feel really confident when I recommend art resin to people. So anyway, that's my thing on that, is do your research, but then use what you feel comfortable with. I do not have to use a respirator or anything. I just don't want to go down that road. There are people who've gotten very sick using some types of resin, and I'm not going to take any chances. I don't want that in my home. I have a boxer dog that I love, and I have a family that I love, so we're not going to, you know, I want non-toxic, and you know, you don't have to wear a mask if you don't want to with this. So you do need to wear gloves anytime you work with resin. I just needed to clean out this cup better, so I put it inside out and cleaned it out real well. And you can probably hear my dog. She's playing in the other room. And then I'm going to kind of just give this a wipe. I'm using alcohol on a paper towel to get this good and clean. That's all I'm doing. Just alcohol on a paper towel. Okay. Now, get my gloves on. Yes, sure is. Always good. So you definitely need gloves. You do not want resin touching your skin. It will glue your fingers together. Even the best resin will do that. So I'm going to do 1 cup of the hardener and 1 cup of the resin. So I'm just going to kind of carefully watch to get it to that exact line. I don't want it over, not even a bit. Okay. And take a paper towel, and I'm wiping that off so that my lid doesn't stick to, you know, you don't want to harden your lid to the bottle, so just wipe that off. Setting that aside, that's another tip, because if the phone rang or I got to talking, and then I would be like, wait, did I pour the hardener or did I pour the resin? So set it aside, and then you can do your next and pour this one. Okay. Now, Art Resin has, and I am not an affiliate for Art Resin. I don't get a thing for telling you anything about the company. That's what I use, and so that's why I'm telling you the process. But, so will somebody on here, I don't know if Linda's on, if somebody will tell me when 3 minutes is up. So I'm going to need to stir this for 3 minutes once I get both of these in here. And I have a watch, but you know, it might just be turning 9:33, or might have just be turning 9:34. So it helps to have somebody do it when I'm live. Otherwise, I would just set my timer. So I'm just pouring these together, and then I'll mix for 3 minutes. I have, you know, a lot of tutorials on my page if you want to see more. Or have other questions. And I'm just going to stir this, you know, fairly gently. You don't want to whip it like it's a cake batter, because that will just add more bubbles. So I'm just kind of stirring gently, and I'm going to do that for 3 minutes. And let's see. I jiggled the large flour. I sure did. That's okay, because when I see that when I go to pour it, I can always, you know, kind of move it back. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you. Oh, that's awesome, Carrie. Carrie knows. She's been with me a long time. I have never had that many viewers, so thank you guys, and I hope you have a great day. If you enjoy, you know, calming, easy art and crafts, then hit the 3 dots and follow me. I'd love to have you on my page if you are just finding out about me on Craft Around the Clock. And if you are watching me on my page and you're not in the Craft Around the Clock group, please get in. We're celebrating their 1st birthday with a slumber party. There has been crafters beyond belief over the last few days. You want to get in there and see all of the amazing people that bring crafts to that group. It has grown like wildfire, and it's because of the quality of crafters that she's gotten into that group. It's just fantastic. Okay, so we're just stirring kind of gently. How, WJ, I am in Fort Worth, Texas. Do plan your first resin product today. Still, I know, Lori, you'll be nervous, and that's probably good because you want to be careful with resin. Resin's not something to mess around with. If I, like I said, got it on my skin, it would be harmful because it's beyond glue. I mean, you've got to be very careful with it, but I show people the proper way to do it. And if you do it the proper way, you don't have any problems. And it gives you beautiful results. So see the beautiful glass-like finish. So, do your research, do your homework, read about it, watch tutorials, and then feel confident that you know what you're doing. But it isn't something to just take lightly and go by and start doing. I mean, you do need to be sure you know how to take care of it. Your brother lives there. That's awesome. And you're in New York. See, that's hard, isn't it? My brother's in Tennessee, and I don't get to see him a lot. And sure wish that we could all live in the same area, but you know how that is. People go where the jobs are, and then we just have to, thank goodness for Facebook and Skype and phone calls and video calls and all the stuff that we have had access to stay close to people. Are we about at time? I'm watching for you, Linda. 3 minutes is up, Carrie says. Okay, so once you've got that 3 minutes up and you've mixed it really well, you then have about, I say 30 minutes. You might have a little longer than 30 minutes, but you've got about 30 minutes to, thanks, Linda. Is your stir stick wood? This is a silicone. So I guess it's wood underneath maybe, but it's silicone on top. I got it on Amazon. And I've got an Amazon, shop and some lists on there where you can see exactly the products I use, and including like this. I try to put as many things as I can think of that I use on that list to make it easier for you. But yeah. Okay. Let's get down to business. And if you want to see that, you would just go Amazon/shop/Art Grace Paint. Okay, I'm going to take this on my stick and I'm going to start drizzling just kind of carefully over the where I've laid my glass down. Hope y'all can see. Just drizzling over. I want it to touch every single piece of glass with just a little bit of resin. It doesn't have to be a lot. You're just making sure that these little glass pieces are, getting a little bit of resin. Thank y'all so much for being here. Who stayed up all night? I forgot to ask. Have any of y'all stayed up the whole night watching crafters? So I see a little spot I missed. I'm going to just plop one down. That's all I did. I just put a tiny dot of resin so that where I put it, it would stay. And that's it. And now I've got a piece where I wanted it. Okay, so it looks like I've got resin on everything. You can kind of, if I wasn't live, I would take it and kind of look and just be sure that everything has a little bit of resin on it. It doesn't have to be a lot. You just want a tiny drizzle. You'll see that. And now you can pour the rest of your, oh, this is inside out. How funny. It doesn't matter. This is self-leveling resin, so it will, if you've got it on a level surface, so you do want to have a level so you can be sure your desk or your, wherever you're going to set it is level. Let me give you another tip before I forget. When I put this, I have a little space over here beside me that you can't see, and it's like a shelf, and I will set it on that shelf. And at the Dollar Tree, when they sell those little tents that go over your food for picnics, that's what I buy and use to cover my resin project. And that way, the little bits of, the little bits of dust that are just in your home floating around the air, because they will get in there and settle on your project. So I will cover it with that. You can also use a box. You don't have to have that tent, but the tent I like because it was $1 and I can just peek in and look at it and, that kind of thing. Okay, so now I'm gonna spread my, where did my little spreader go? I guess I didn't get it out. I'm gonna spread my resin. This is one of those makeup you can put, your facial masks on that I got at Dollar Tree. I'm just gonna spread my resin out to all the little corners. Now, how much resin you use, it's kind of personal preference. Some people use very little for different reasons. Sometimes because it's less expensive, the less you use. Sometimes because they don't want it, flooded, and they just maybe want to cover the pieces. So that's kind of personal preference. I like mine about this much. And what I was going to say is there's a calculator on the Art Resin website that tells you how much to use based on the size of your project. So if this is maybe 6 by 9, then you just plug that in 6 by 9 into their calculator, and they will tell you you need, half an ounce of each or whatever it is. I eyeball it now because I've done it enough that I can just eyeball it. And sometimes I will do a little extra, and that's when I will resin all of my little ornaments at one time, because you don't waste resin. It is expensive and you don't want to waste it. So I make sure to have something ready to go if I'm going to do a little extra. And I'm just kind of working this to each little area. You guys enjoying this? Does anybody think they'll try it? And it's okay if you don't. Listen, if you don't, that's fine. You could paint this scene, just paint it, and it'll be gorgeous. If you don't want to use resin, another thing I love to use is the Decoart Triple Thick, because it gives you a really glassy finish. And that's what I use on my ceramics. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful finish. So if you're like, oh, I don't want to mess with all that, I don't want to go to the expense, I don't like the hassle of the sticky resin, that's fine. Then paint it and put some triple thick and you'll have a very similar product. So there's definitely workarounds and ways you can adapt. This would be beautiful on a sack. You could just paint it on a sack and use it for a gift, or paint it on a canvas bag. And you guys, you can leave your ideas in the comments. I know that you guys have lots of creative ideas. If you end up doing something with this design, I would love to see it. Just tag me or send it to me in a message. I would love to have you follow me if you're not already. Oh, and Tuesday we are having a Women's Day celebration. So Tuesday is the International Women's Day. And we've got a bunch of creators coming together, probably a lot of people that you already watch, to give free art and craft tutorials all day Tuesday from 8:30 in the morning until 9:30 at night. So 8:30 in the morning, I'll just tell you, is Debbie Rigg. You don't want to miss her. And then from there, it's just one after the other amazing creators. So come be a part of that. It is in my free group, the Art and Craft Showcase. And just request to get in. You do have to give your email to get in. That's how I keep out scammers and weird people. We don't want people hitting on you guys. So I try to make sure it's a reputable person. You know, I mean, I can't be foolproof, but I make sure that it's not one of those people that just creates an account in order to get access to people. Anyway, so we'd love to have you for that too. Miss Tracy Campbell will be there. So guys, you want to be there. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to hit it with a heat gun, and I bet my time is up. Oh, it is. I'm so sorry. I'm a minute late, but I want to show you. Just hit it with a heat gun. You can use a hair dryer. You can use a butane torch, like a little kitchen torch will work. That's it. You're going to get the bubbles out with this, and any little pieces that kind of float away, you're going to move those back in. I'm the last presenter, so I went over a minute, and I'm sorry, but thankfully no one's behind me. And I know it's hard to tell, very hard to tell, but it will give me a glassy finish in the end, just like this one. So guys, if you try this, you have to show me. Now, up in the description of this video, I believe I put how to get this supply list and the tracer. I'm pretty sure I did. Now I'm thinking, did I? I'd only had a few sips of coffee. So guys, if I didn't, I'll give that to you in these comments. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you'll come back. Oh, another thing. You can make a little bow to put on top. This is just optional. I just like, you know, little things like that, adding a little flavor to it, or to the hanger if you want to make a beaded hanger or something. That's just an idea, you know, totally up to you, but lots of things you can do with this. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate every one of you. I will go back and read all the comments. So you guys have a great Sunday and enjoy your day. Bye guys.